We conducted a research study examining the literature related to physical activity messages, and we found three important things. First, we found that physical activity messages are most motivational when they emphasize the benefits of being active. What this means is that practitioners should remind people of all the good things they get from being active, so the reduced risk of cardiovascular disease, obesity, and improved physical functioning, rather than nagging people about the consequences of being inactive. We also found that when messages are provided in a way that's specific to the individual, it increases the likelihood that somebody's going to pay attention to the message and actually try to make some changes. You can make a message specific to the individual by providing information that's specific perhaps to their injury level or their state of motivation. And finally, we found it important to provide information that promotes people's confidence in their ability to create a plan and to set exercise goals. The important thing to keep in mind with physical activity guidelines is that they're necessary but not sufficient for motivating behavior change. And what I mean by this is that physical activity guidelines tell people how often, how much, and what types of activity they should do at a certain intensity. But they don't tell us how and why we should reach this physical activity guideline. So what our research finds is that for people who are trying to become active, they should use the guidelines as a tool or a stepping stone to increasing their physical activity. They should use the guidelines to guide the goal that they set to become more active, and then they need to take steps or actions to ensure that they meet their goals. One of the strategies that we're finding works very effectively is to have people set or create action plans. That is, set very specific, detailed plans about when, where, and what types of activity they plan on doing to reach their physical activity goal. For practitioners, it's very important to keep in mind that physical activity guidelines really are just the first step towards getting somebody active. So simply handing somebody the guideline likely won't change their physical activity behavior. Rather, what they should do is provide somebody the guideline and then either encourage them to call Get in Motion, where they can receive more physical activity counseling, or sit down with their clients and discuss their clients' physical activity goals, as well as how they specifically plan to achieve these goals.